Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Priya Gulati Maths. Today I am going to teach a very important question from NCERT exemplar book from chapter Real Numbers. The question says prove that root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. Now these questions where we have to prove a number to be irrational, we do it by contradiction method. Now what is meant by contradiction method? Suppose if you have to prove that root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number, we will assume the opposite of this to be true. Means I will assume that root 2 plus root 3 is an rational number. After doing this assumption, based on this assumption, I will keep on doing certain working. After certain step of our working, we will come across a statement where we will see that whatever we have assumed is wrong. So if our assumption is wrong, what is the correct thing? The correct statement will be root 2 plus root 3 is irrational number. And once the correct statement is root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number, it means that our question is done. Because we have to prove this only. We have to prove that root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. So this is the steps which we follow for proving the question by contradiction method. So let us come to the solution. Let us assume, starting में will write, let us assume to the contrary that root 2 plus root 3 is rational. To the contrary itself means that we are doing this question by contradiction method. So if root 2 plus root 3 is a rational number, I can express root 2 plus root 3 equals to in the form of rational number a upon b. Now what is the definition of rational number? A is a integer, b is a integer. So I write where a and b are integers and b should not be equal to 0, because if b is 0 then a upon b will become undefined. Another condition we keep here is that a and b are co-prime numbers. Now what is meant by co-prime numbers? Just understand it with the help of this example. Suppose if I take two numbers 5 comma 7. These two numbers, they are co-prime numbers. Why they are co-prime numbers? That if these two numbers, they don't have any factor common in them. So if I write b divided by 7, because of no factor common in 5 and 7, I cannot cancel them. So only factor is 1. So I can write 5 upon 7 as 5 into 1 divided by 7 into 1. So what you see here, only 1 is the common factor. But still, I cannot cancel them because they are not divisible by a common number. Common factor means that 5 is also divisible by that particular number and 7 is also divisible by that particular number, so that they can get cancelled. But 5 and 7 we cannot cancel. So I say 5 and 7, they are co-prime number. Right? Now after this step, what I have to do, you can see on the left side there are two terms, square root terms. There are two square root terms. One is root 2, the other is root 3. Now our purpose will be to keep one of these two square root terms on left side and rest of the term I'll bring on the right side. So either I can keep root 3 on the left side or I can keep root 2 on the left side. So I am keeping root 3 on the left side. So I will bring root 2 on the right side. So your equation will become root 3 equals to a upon b minus root 2. Right? Now I want to remove this root sign from the left side. Root 3 में से root को I want to remove. So what I can do? Squaring both sides. So next step, squaring both sides में I write root 3 square equals to right side this complete a upon b minus root 2 whole square. Right? Now come to the left side. Root 3 square means root 3 into root 3, which gives you 3. Now in this is of the form x minus y whole square. Now you know the identity x minus y whole square. It is given by x square minus 2xy plus y square. So make use of that identity. I can write a upon b whole square as a square upon b square minus 2 into a upon b into root 2 plus root 2 square. Root 2 square means root 2 into root 2, which gives you 2. So what do you see in this step? The root sign from root 3 is removed. Right? And the right side is like having 3 terms in it. Now what next? In the right side, you see that there is a term which is containing root 2 in it. So our next step will be to keep this complete term 2a root 2 upon p. This is one single term. I will bring this single term on left side and rest of the term on the right side. Why I am bringing this on one side? Because it is containing root 2. So whichever term you see out of these three, the one which is having a root of some number, that term I will bring on the left side. So for that, what I will do now, you can see this constant term of left side, and right side mein constant term is 2. So if I bring this 2 on the left side, it will become 3 minus 2, which gives you 1. Right? Now rest of the two terms I write as it is, a square upon b square minus 2a root 2 upon b. Now this is the term which is having root 2 in it, so I bring it on the left side. So I bring it, what I will get, 2a root 2 upon b, right? और ये जो 1 आपका जो left side में था, I will take it to the right side. So you will get a square upon b square minus 1. This 1 can be written as 1 upon 1. Next step में this left side is as it is. Now I will subtract a square minus b square minus 1. Subtract these two terms. So I will take LCM of b square and 1, which gives you b square. Next, b square divided by b square is 1. 1 into a square gives you a square. Minus minus. B square divided by 1 gives you b square. B square into 1 gives you b square. Right? So this is how you have your right side. Next step, this b, this root 2 is getting multiplied with 2a and getting divided by b. So what is our next step? I will try to remove this 2a as well as b from the denominator from left side. So step by step, first I will remove b. So I will bring b to the right side, so it will get multiplied with the numerator, and b square ko I can write as b into b. So what will be our next step like? Come to the next step. It will be like this. 2a root 2 equals to b I have brought on the right side, so it gets multiplied with this numerator and divide by that b square I can write as b into b. Now this b, one of the b from the denominator gets cancelled with this b, so you are left with 2a root 2 equals to a square minus b square upon b. Now again, root 2 is still getting multiplied with 2a. This 2a ko I will bring on the right side. Why I am bringing right side? Because I want to keep root 2 alone on the left side. So root 2a ko if I bring on the right side, it will get divided. So your equation will be root 2 equals to a square minus b square equals to 2a को आप ले आए डिनोमिनेटर में आ गया, तो 2a, this b was already there. So this type of expression you are obtaining, root 2 equals to a square minus b square upon 2ab. Label it as 1. Now understand carefully. Look at the right side. This is a square minus b square. A and b, both of them, they are integers. We have assumed in the very beginning that a and b are integers. So if a is an integer, then a square will also be integer. Just say for example, if 7 is an integer, then 7 into 7, that is 7 square, which is 49, is also an integer. So if a is an integer, a square is an integer. So this first term is integer minus. Similarly, if b is an integer, then b square will also be integer. For example, if 8 is an integer, then 8 square, that is 64, will also be an integer. So what do you see in the numerator? Integer minus integer. Integer minus integer will give you again some other new integer. So what do you see? The numerator as a whole is coming out to be as an integer. So I write it as I am representing integer by I. So this is your numerator, which is equivalent to a integer, right? Now come to the denominator. 2 is an integer, a is an integer, b is also an integer. So what is there in the denominator? Integer into integer into integer. The product of three integers will again be the some other new integer. So as a whole, denominator is also integer. So I can write in the denominator also as integer. So what do I get? Numerator integer, denominator integer, means integer divided by integer, and integer upon integer, by the very definition of rational number, integer upon integer is a rational number. So what do you see? That right side of this equation 1 is representing a rational number. So this, how will I write? Since a and b are integers, therefore right hand side of equation 1 is a rational number. If right side is a rational number, then left side will also be a rational number. So I can write, therefore root 2 should also be a rational number. Right? So root 2 is a rational number. We have come to this point. Now we know that root 2 is irrational. Root 2 is irrational. How will I come to know that? I have told you in my earlier lectures also, square root of any prime number is always a irrational number. So here what do you see? 2 is a prime number. So square root of 2 will be a irrational number. So we already know that root 2 is a irrational number. Now what is this? So preceding statement is saying that root 2 is rational. But we know the true statement is that root 2 is irrational. So these two statements, they are just opposite of each other. Means they are contradicting, means they are clashing, right? So this is what we mean by contradiction method. So why this contradiction has arisen? This gives rise to a contradiction, that is a clash. This contradiction has come because of our assumption. So it means that whatever I have assumed in the beginning, I show you again, that we have assumed in the beginning root 2 plus root 3 is rational. So it means that somewhere root 2 plus root 3 जो assumption हमने किया था, this is wrong. So how will I write? Our assumption that root 2 plus root 3 is rational is wrong, or I can say is incorrect. So whatever is incorrect, it means there is something wrong with our assumption. So it means our assumption was wrong. So what does it mean? The opposite is true. Means what is the opposite of this root 2 plus root 3 is rational का opposite क्या हो जाएगा? Root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. So we conclude that root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. This conclusion arises because of our contradiction, our assumption. That assumption was wrong, and in the end we come to the conclusion that root 2 plus root 3 is irrational, and this is what we were required to prove in the question. Your question was prove that root 2 plus root 3 is irrational. So this is how your question is done. I hope children you have understood this question. Bye bye.